Hello. I'm in that green room. Can you hear me?
What's up, everybody? All right.
Hey. That's working now.
Is it working? That's embarrassing. So, what the heck? Yeah, had to do some quick cable unplugging and replugging in. Apparently, it was just the audio from my laptop. So you guys heard me type it away. Fury of typing. Yeah. Yeah, and then I realized the soundboard wasn't syncing up, so whatever. We're here, guys. Hey, it's Moto Monday. It's a late night edition. So pumped. Where are you guys tuning in from? All right. That's working. That's working. Chat's working. It's going to be a good one, guys. It's going to be a late one, but it's going to be a good one. All right.
Great. I mean, we've got the whole Pacific Rim to connect to today.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Beyonce just got that loaded up. Boy, my video quality's looking pretty rough today.
It looks good on my end.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I had to talk to my union about doing it this late.
Yeah, right.
All right. Buddy, what a day.
What a day.
I was walking around in shorts and a t-shirt today in the 60s, and people were like losing their mind. They were looking at me like I was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they're all in like hoodies and jackets, and I'm like, I just spent 2 weeks in Montana.
Yeah, right? That's awesome. It snowed here today, so.
Oh, enjoy.
Yeah. Super fun. All right.
What a great day.
So good. I can't wait to hear about everything you had going on.
Oh, man. Full day of research, training. 60-something different countries represented in the training I was on today. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely wonderful.
So cool.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for tonight for what we're going to be talking about. I don't want to give it away yet, but I know I'm going to benefit.
Not yet.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. Did the email go out?
It did. Yeah.
Woo!
Woohoo!
I wrote that. It felt like yesterday, and I was like, no, it was this morning. It's one of those kind of days.
Yeah, man. We'll get into this later, but I'm running on about 3.5 hours of sleep.
Oh, this show is for you, buddy.
So good.
This show is for you.
It wasn't because I was working late. It was because I couldn't fall asleep till after 5 a.m. I was just up, just awake. My brain, something shifted, man. It was awful.
Yeah. Well, I think this is still going to be good.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Where are y'all tuning in from? I can see that you're here. Don't be a lurker. We're doing something different today. If this is your first time, welcome. Put it down in the chat below or above or wherever your chat window is. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We love to connect with people from around the world for Moto Monday, late night edition.
Late night. I think we're gonna, once we get on a better sleep schedule, I think we're gonna shift to the early morning. Catch those East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's likely gonna happen.
Yeah.
I got the colors. I'm matching colors for Moto Monday now on the slide.
So
I'm
exciting.
So excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So excited. This is my song.
I know.
All the bad things. Oh, bad vibes. I'm still learning the words.
Just in time for me to mix it up for the next one.
No, this is. Oh, here we go. Turn it up right here.
This is who I am. This is who I am now. No matter what they say. This is who I am. This is who I am
now.
I love it.
Yes, it is. Because you got this one line. Let's do something fun with it.
I'm gonna let them talk, but I am following nobody else.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Moto Monday Late Night Edition. Super pumped to be here. Super pumped to welcome you. Hopefully, we've got some new people here tonight. We're broadcasting at a much different time. Usually, it's an afternoon show. But Paul and I, whoa, that didn't work out so good. My board got reset. Let's try that again. There he is.
There we go. There it is. There was a swoop without a Paul.
Super exciting, guys. All right, my name's Derrick. If you're new here, I'm a graphic designer and a creative director. This is my good friend Paul, all around good dude, Mustang Marine, lots of really cool things, and here to help serve you guys tonight, see that how we can just help you with what you're going through in business and life with graphic design or photography or the creative arts. Maybe you're a solopreneur and trying to land that side hustle gig, or maybe you're working as an in-house designer, or maybe you're just hanging out, watching the streams. So whatever you are, whatever you're doing, comment in the chat so we can see you. If you're on YouTube, we can throw it in the feed. If you're on Behance, we're watching that as well. Also broadcasting on Twitch and on Facebook, all over the place. Lots of places to play, lots of places for you guys to jump in and have fun. So we're going to kick it off. Paul's got some awesome training for us tonight, and then we'll open it up for questions. So along the way, jump in, engage. We'll see you. We'll say hello. And then what else, Paul? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Give me a swoop.
A swoop.
Let's do this.
All right, let's do this. Let's get into it.
Yeah, there we go. See? New colors.
Look at that.
Love it?
Look, I love it. I'm not sure. Okay, we got to work on the teal and the blue though. We got to get those in with the rest of the moto. The moto. It's, you know what? I'm digging the vibe. Let's just roll.
Yeah. Okay.
So good.
Hey, have you ever had those times where you felt like you were getting pinched with all of the different priorities, the kids, the pandemic, trying to get those clients, update the portfolio, and then squeeze in a little bit of time for some food, maybe, or a little bit of exercise, or to drink some water instead of the hyper caffeinated drinks, the hyper sugary drinks, to give you some power, so that way you can stay up later, continue to not sleep, and then go through the whole mess again. You know what? I've been there. I still sometimes am there. My main man, Derrick, said, you know, his mind was racing last night, so excited with all the different things going on, and he couldn't sleep till 5 a.m. So when you have these different challenges and you feel yourself getting pinched, or you feel like you're juggling with the weight of the world on your shoulders, what do you do? Well, we're going to go through these pieces right here. This is exactly what you do. Let's jump in. First point, I want you to say yes, people. And as we're talking about, well, how to stop juggling, why would say yes make any sense to help you stop juggling? Well, check this out. You're going to have a priority, the priority. Priorities is a nasty little thing that happened in the English language only within, like, I don't know, the last several decades. It is a singular word that modern English decided to slap into being a plural. So when you have a priority, you are going to choose one, extreme close up, one thing, that's it. Stay true to the word, priority. You're going to choose that one thing, and then you're going to block time to accomplish that. Now, sometimes you're going to say, this is the one thing that I want to get done in the next hour. Maybe you have this one thing that you want to accomplish within the day. Maybe you are starting to grow your business or accelerate your life to where you can look out a little ways and say, you know what, there's this one thing that I'm going to accomplish this week, this month, this quarter, this year. You can block your time to set the conditions for your success. This happens when you choose one thing to say yes to. Swoop. All right, give me a swoop. So we were talking about that. You know, I was just in Montana hanging out with you and your whole family.
Yeah.
And taking a look at how to choose one thing.
It's crazy. It feels like it was just yesterday. It pretty much was. Almost.
Pretty much was. It was like 2 days ago.
Yeah. And also a little bit of a tangent. Bring me right back, Paul. But we went live on Thursday. So there's a replay wherever you're watching this. When this is done, not now. Don't jump now. But the replay's up, and it was really, really good because we were live. We were in the same room having lots of fun. It was so good to have you here. So
there was like no elbow room because we had you, your wife, and me.
Yeah.
And we were just like loving and riffing and serving and answering questions. So if you're tuning in now, make sure you put in at least where you're tuning in from. Come on, scratch that itch for me.
Yeah.
Let me know where you're tuning in from, and then get those questions ready. Or maybe let me know if you identify with some of the things I'm talking about.
For sure. Yes.
All right.
This is going to be so good.
Let's go to the swoop. Let's go to number 2. All right. So we talked about that one thing that you say yes to. Now let's take a look at saying no. You know that there are some things in your life that are going to derail you. They're going to distract you. So identify what those are, so you can eliminate them. You bring your awareness to the distractions, not to have them overwhelm you, but you bring your awareness to the distractions so that way you can manage them. And there's this ratio of 1 to 1,000. This blew my mind the other day when I heard this. A good friend told me, for every one yes that you say, are you ready for the 1,000 no's so you can accomplish that one yes?
So good.
I was like, well, that seems a little extreme, doesn't it? If I'm gonna say yes to working out, oh man, there we go. Okay, if I'm gonna say yes to working out, would there really be 1,000 things that I'm gonna say no to, friend? You Mr. Smarty Pants. And I started thinking, well, yes, because I'm gonna say no to hitting snooze. I'm going to say no to the comfort of my bed. I'm going to say no to wanting to not get sweaty. I'm going to say no to all of these things. I'm going to say no to the crap food. I'm going to say no to pop or soda, like depending on where you're from. I'm going to say no to all of these things so I can say yes to working out. I'm going to say yes to getting healthy. So there's 1,000 things that you're going to say no to. If you're not ready to say no to 1,000 things, then you're not ready to say yes to that one thing. So just head it off at the pass. Call it right there. Unless you're ready to say no to 1,000 things, don't say yes. And this will bring your actions into alignment and help you stop some of the madness with the juggling. Another friend told me one time, Paul, when you're juggling, there's some things in your life that are glass or crystal balls, and there are some things that are rubber balls. And he said, good. What's the difference? Right? And what's the difference? Yeah, go shoot me. Let's talk about this. Swoop, swoop, swoop. There we go. So he was telling me about this, and he said, well, which balls can you drop, Paul? And I'm like, well, I'm really talented. I can drop all of them. Have you ever had that happen in your life where you're just going to town and you're just like, that's it, I quit, and everything comes crashing down? And he said, Paul, if you drop the crystal balls, what happens? And I'm like, well, they fall and they break. And he goes, well, crystal doesn't break though, Paul, right? And I'm like, no, it shatters. So shattering something takes a lot more time to clean it back up. He said, well, what about the rubber balls? If one of those drops out of your cycle of juggling all of these requirements, tasks, actions, commitments, projects in your life, if you drop one of the rubber balls, what happens? And I said, I think I know where you're going with this. It like bounces. It goes bounce, 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 bounce. And then it like goes underneath the couch, never to be seen again. And you can always pick it up and throw it back in the mix later. So in identifying what is that number one thing that you say yes to, those 1,000 things, say no before they become crystal balls, that if you say no and drop them, that they shatter. So say yes and no, that 1 to 1,000 ratio.
So good.
I'm gonna get some water.
And I think that with the 1 to 1,000, I hear that as not so much 1,000 as much as it is just everything else, right? It's just basically the one thing is the one thing, and however many times you have to say no to everything else is kind of how I hear that and what that means to me. So.
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
100%.
I mean, for those of you who maybe study the Bible, it talks about like 70 times or 7 times. How does it say? Oh my gosh.
70 times 7.
There we go. And the point being,
Yeah.
it's not that it's a number that you can add up as much as like, you might think it's this much, but really it's just, it's continuous, right?
Right. It's not to be taken literally. Like you're gonna say yes 490 times.
Exactly.
Is that there's the sacredness of the number 7. And then you're gonna say it like super sacred.
Yes, I got really nervous trying to go to that with 3 hours of sleep and math and numbers. That was dangerous.
I got you.
Barely
We talked about
made it
this.
out alive.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Why don't you give me a swoop and we'll go to point number 3.
Let's do it.
Swooping it up here. So we talked about that one thing that you're going to say yes to because it's a priority. T, not T's. You're going to say no to some things that are not going to support you. You know they're going to distract you. So say no in advance. And then let's talk about some 3 steps. 3 steps. Break it down.
Oh my gosh.
What happened? That just happened. You're going to break down that thing that you're saying yes to, that action, that commitment, that proposal, that project, that mock-up, that logo design, that Photoshop suite. Hey, if you're on Photoshop, let me know what you think about the combination of the inner glow, outer glow, and drop shadow. I think it's spectacular. Derrick and I have agreed to disagree here. But whatever you're going to do, if you're going to go after the inner shadow, outer shadow, drop shadow, glowy things, you can break that entire process down into 3 major steps. And that's going to help you out, especially when you are running on fumes. Maybe you're in a place where you're building this business on the side so you can then have some economic freedom while you are maintaining your economic dignity. Break your projects down into 3 major steps so you can just keep track of everything that's going on. And remember, don't go it alone. Reach out, ask for some support. And by doing that, you're going to ask for specific help. So earlier, Derrick, give me a swoop here. Because this is one of those things that we're doing this work real time. This isn't something that we just like, well, this sounds like a really good academic concept that we read in a book. Let's see if we could just go ahead and push this out to the world. No. This is live. This is what we do with one another. So this morning, as you were talking about, yeah, dude, I was up until 5 a.m. And I'm like, okay. And we were like, MOTO Monday. And I'm like, I got you. Ask for specific help. And we did. Do you remember what you were asking for?
Well, it started off like, we're still doing this, right? I don't want to miss it. And then it was, hey man, I'm going to be struggling for words. Can you help me with the content? And I don't even remember exactly how it helped, but some of you guys who are maybe new here, maybe don't know this, but Paul and I use Marco Polo on our phones. Oh, there's my wife. Marco Polo on our phones to send messages back and forth. And so we'll punch in real quick in the morning. Hey man, how's it going? I'm doing this, and this. Here's my priority for today. And I don't want to steal his thunder because I know he's about to show you some of this, but we go through this using Marco Polo, the app, just to do a quick video. And then that way we can play it back at 2x, right? For when I talk for a really long time, he can just speed it up like a squirrel. Or slow me down if I'm too fast.
Or slow it down.
But the point is that accountability and, not going alone, being able to ask for help, ask for support. And whether that's as simple as, hey man, check in with me again at 3 o'clock, let me know, or, it was him. He was working on a paper. I was like, he had a deadline. He was going to check in with me at 3 o'clock, holding himself accountable. And then knowing that I was going to check in too and be like, hey, did you do what you said you were going to do? And so that's how we use this process. And that's how we put it into tangible action is through the app Marco Polo.
Absolutely. And the specific help is one of those keys. Derrick was talking about, I was working on a paper yesterday for my graduate school application.
So cool.
And I'd been like working on it and working on it and working on it. And maybe you've seen this, my friend, where you trip across the finish line. Like you maybe have tripped right before getting across the finish line. I didn't want that to happen with my application. So I sent a polo, I call it just polo. I poloed Derrick and I just said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have this paragraph done by this time, this paragraph done at this time. And I'll circle back and I'll tell you where I'm at on this time hack as well. And the first thing that happens is I busted the first timeline. Okay, not a problem. Hey, I am behind. And I anticipate it looking like this now. And then he got to weigh in when he was able to see what was going on and then help me out from there.
Yeah.
So
and then what I do
ask
is
for that specific help.
I show him videos of when so yes, was it yesterday? My wife had a coffee sitting at the top of the stairs. There's like a ledge. So the stairs go up and there's like a ledge across. So she had a coffee and the kids were walking by with big old blankets and you can see where this is going. Knocked it down, hit the bottom and exploded. It was a mocha, like a 16 ounce from Starbucks. Just coffee everywhere on this light cream colored carpets, up the wall, like just chaos. It took me about 2 hours to totally get it fixed. I'm not sure it's ever going to be the same. It's a work in progress, but the point is like, I'm like, hey man, here's what I'm going through for the next couple hours, and not losing focus when all of a sudden, you get cut off at the knees or your day derails,
Right. And you don't have to live in a place where you're going to have a bad day anymore. When you learn how to ask for specific help, you're going to have that additional resource of tools to help you out with the stress, the anxiety, the fear, the not knowing, the lack of confidence. You're also going to have somebody that's going to be there to like celebrate you, challenge you, support you, love on you, and really be there with you every step of your journey. So don't go this alone, even though you might be in a business of one.
Yeah, and this is a really good place to plug our Facebook group. So
yes,
if you go to facebook.com/ I think it's /groups/complete graphic design. There's about 18,000 members in there. It's crazy. I don't think I posted the link tonight in the description, but I can add that later. The point being, I'm actually off of Facebook right now. I deleted it from my phone and I deleted Instagram. I'm really trying to limit my exposure to all those distractions right now. But I didn't want to kill the group completely. It's still a great place if you like Facebook and you want a place to maybe either be a mentor or find a mentor. We actually have a mentorship group set up in our group program where you guys can pair off and help each other out. So if you're looking for that accountability or somebody else in the creative space, jump in there, check it out. Again, that's facebook.com/groups/ it might be groups or groups.
It's groups/complete graphic design.
Okay,
I've dropped
cool.
the link on Behance.
Oh, fantastic. It's in Behance. Perfect.
And then,
yeah. So
how
check
about
it
when you
out.
give me a
Join the
swoop?
group. Yeah. Give you a swoop.
Yeah. Give me a swoop and you can drop that into the comments for when I finish up this little shebangarang here. All right. So that's what we were doing. We were talking about the 3 steps. We talked about say yes to one thing. One. Ichi. That's it. One. Say no to at least 2 things. You know that you've got stuff that's distracting you. 3 steps. Everything can be broken down into 3 steps. And then that comes together in the 5 line. Austin Webb, MOTO Monday, let's go. We've also got Russell GD and Luana Gomez over on the Behance. Thanks so much for your comments. Get your questions ready. We are here to serve. Let's jump into the final piece, this 5 line. And this is something that I was just in Montana working with a corporate client and walking them through for how to have more productivity with creative types that might be a lot more creative and a lot less structured. So how can you bring those 2 together? Well, let's walk through it right now. Line 1, say yes to one thing. Remember, it's priority, not tease. Don't tease yourself into thinking you're going to succeed. You're going to have it down to a T, priority. 2, say no to at least 2 things that you know are distracting you. Say no to at least 2 things, identify what they are, so that way you can bring your attention and manage them with excellence, my friend. Identify those distractions. Even Superman had kryptonite. So say no, be aware of those two things. They're going to derail you, and say no to them. Here it is, line 3. Do you notice this pattern here? The one thing, the two things, the 3 steps. You're going to break that big project up that you want to accomplish into 3 major steps. Now, maybe step 1 also has 3 steps. That's fine. Maybe step 2 has 3 steps, and maybe step 3 has 2 steps. That's fine. Break it up into chunks. 3 steps, a lot of neuroscience research behind breaking up into 3 steps. Plus, when you're really tired, you can still keep track of things of 3. We start getting up into 4, 5, 10. It starts breaking. 4, little play on words here. Ask for support, asking for that specific help. And then 5, this is where the magic is, my friend. You're going to ask yourself with what you're doing 5 times, you're going to ask why. So if it's that you're preparing your client proposal and you're working on a specific logo, so you're going to ask why 5 times. Well, I'm building this logo so that I can submit the client proposal. Why? So that I can get hired. Why? Because I want to build a business. Why? Because I'm tired of working for the others. You know, like I want to work for myself. I want to be able to go out and be creative. I want to have my own business. I want to take care of my family. I want to spend more time with them. I want to go around the world. Whatever those 5 layers of why, bring that context into your life, my friend, because then it won't feel like you are juggling. It'll feel like you're getting after it. It'll feel like you're going out and winning those dreams, taking that action, breaking it up into 3 manageable steps. And pretty soon you'll feel like because you did this, you won't be juggling 20 different things going on. It's more like, I can do 3. I can juggle 3. And that's going to help you out, my friend. And that's what we're here for on Moto Mondays, to be in service with you. Give me a swoop.
Boom.
There it is. Swoop.
Boom.
With the new colors.
With the new colors. With the new colors. So good, man. And I've actually been using this, and full confession, not as much as I would like to. It's still a work in progress. It's a new way of thinking, especially in my current season where I have already said yes to so many things. I can't let those crystal balls drop. They're not going to bounce. They're going to break.
Right.
And so I have to make sure that they all get addressed and taken care of, work hard to get them off my list, and then moving forward, shift and pivot my lifestyle in a way that allows me to work more within this framework without just being totally overloaded with everything else.
So good. And, you know, when you recognize that you do have so many crystal balls in the air, come up with a plan of how to set those down, stop them, quit them, pull the plug, bring them across the finish line. Really, like, instead of things blowing up in your face because you're juggling too many things, come up with a plan to stop them.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a lot better than when the crystal just falls and shatters.
So good.
Crystal doesn't break. It doesn't break like a coffee cup coming off of the second floor. Too soon.
It doesn't bounce and splatter. Yeah. What's up? What's up? We got a couple more in the chat from Buenos Aires, Argentina. What's up, Nikki? Thanks for joining.
Great.
Chris, what's up? Yeah, good to see you again in the live chat. So much fun. You probably hear my kiddos in the background. It's bedtime where I'm at for my kiddos. So we won't be going too crazy tonight. But we do have some household clanking going around in the background. It's just what it is. The family lifestyle.
It's happening. It's the late night edition. We've got Brussels sprouts in the oven.
I'm digging
over here in the Gowin Oberding household.
The Oberding. How did that nickname?
That's her last name.
Oh, it is. I thought
Oberding.
it was like I don't know, some like random nickname.
No, it's because I'm always like, and here's an Oberding in her wild habitat. No, that's my lady. That's her last name.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I had no idea. I thought it was just some like some what do you call it, like the affectionate cutesy like nickname, right?
The little pet name.
I never really wanted to ask. Didn't want to know.
So we're gonna wait to ask until we're live.
Then I'll bring it up.
I just dropped in the comments for YouTube the Facebook group.
Oh, very cool. Thanks for doing that.
Do you want to drop that in?
Wait, I thought you just said you did.
I did. Do you see it?
Why do I have to approve it or something?
Maybe. It's on the YouTube. On the YouTube.
It's on the YouTubes.
It's on the chats.
It's on the tubes. I don't know if I want to squirrel this
Not
far
seen it?
away. I actually.
It's okay. Here.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It didn't pull up.
bring it in.
Why did not come in? So strange.
You can pull it in. I just sent it over to you on a text.
I still have to
That way you
grab.
do a copy and a paste.
I have to go to.
So beautiful people, we are doing this to mix some things up. Oh, is that just like a weird freeze? Yeah.
But I don't know.
The internets have not been good to me today.
Dude, me either.
I don't know what's going on.
Could you hear that? I
It looked like you
opened
were
the
doing that on
YouTube.
purpose.
What was that?
It looked like you were doing it on purpose. You were like, ah.
No, not at all. Okay, I just commented. Can I bring it in? There it is. All right. I don't know why yours. Okay, so
There it is.
there's the
Oh.
Facebook group link. Come say hi. Come hang out. Lots of cool people in the group. And
Ask for specific support.
Specific support. You're talking about the internet today. So, dude, yeah, it's been a day. Okay, so one of the companies I'm building a website for had a massive launch, massive promotion, super cool opportunity. They're actually working with William Shatner, and today is his birthday. And there was a couple articles that went out, and it basically broke our site because
Broke the internet.
It broke the internet. So I had to have an emergency repair session earlier this morning. And that's how my day started with the Internet of Things. And then even finishing off tonight, like at the beginning of the feed, I didn't even realize my music was, I'm like grooving out to myself, but all Paul's hearing is like the keyboard because it's just coming through my MacBook, just the speaker, like no music, no.
It wasn't just a keyboard. It was more like,
Heavy breathing, and that's so
I was
funny.
like, you got like an elephant jumping on your keyboard, dude.
I can't wait to watch the replay and
gonna be
shake
hilarious.
my head and be like, what is happening? Wow.
So we got Matthew Hulse. Hi, folks. Nikki.
What's up?
Boy,
What's up?
I'm gonna go for it. Siska.
I don't know. I'm watching
Fishka?
the Behance feed. It's getting pretty
Is it the internets are just giving up on us today?
it looks like a glitch in the Matrix.
Ah,
Uh-oh. I got a beach ball. Can you see us still?
yeah. I'm still seeing you.
Yeah, Austin, that happens a lot. Usually it's because of my good looks though, not because of incompetency. This time it was incompetency. Not really.
We've got a little bit more for going live before our brains shut down. The internet
Yeah.
breaks again. So really beautiful people watching this right now. We love to give stuff away. It's to those who participate though. So ask a question. We're here to serve on a little bit of a different time. It's Monday evening where we're at. It might be halfway into Tuesday afternoon where you're at. Wherever you are, ask that question. Really appreciate Nikki saying that she's tuning in from Argentina.
Wow.
Right on. So now we've got two hemispheres covered for this live stream. Really, really stoked about that. Ask your questions. We are here to serve.
So I just want to point out again, if you guys missed it, if you're just tuning in, watch the replay. Paul gave some really great tactical, I guess you could call it a framework, something that you could go through for those days, those time. Honestly, we use it every day. Paul and I use it every day. Especially when there's confusion or there's stress or there's anxiety and overwhelm.
Right.
As a creative, I don't know about you guys, but for me, emotionally, once my head's not in the right space, I can't be creative and do anything else. So this helps ground you in a good way, not like grounded, go to your room, but like, find that foundation, find that safe space to be able to know that you're working on the right thing. There might be 100 other things calling your name, but you're working on the right thing right now to move your day forward. If all you had to worry about is what you did today, right? Tomorrow can worry about itself. And Paul, special shout out to you. He's been telling me, he's like, hey, you've got to listen to is it the Science of Getting Rich?
Science of Getting Rich.
By
Old school.
Waddles, right? Wally Waddle?
Wallace D. Waddles.
So good. Lots of great takeaway points. But one of them, which I'm already forgetting, squirrel brain, 3 hours of sleep. What did I just say? I was talking about Oh,
Science of getting
well, no. But he was talking about how like basically my takeaway, this isn't exactly how he said it, but the takeaway being, if every day you win that day, you're going to win. You're going to win. Today might have been a loss for me, maybe because, I spent way more time doing things that weren't necessarily what I thought my number one was going to be for the day, but I got those things done and still was able to push the main things I had to do today forward. Right. And so I won the day. It was a difficult day. It was more of a battle than usual, but I still won the day. Tomorrow, if I can win the day again, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, you're going to find success. And so this framework, he calls it the 5 line, right?
The focus 5 line.
Yeah. Can we pull it up again? I'm going to go to you.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
And Matthew Hulse, what questions can you answer?
That's fair.
Man,
good question.
Throw something my way. So Derrick specializes in the graphic design, the technical wizardry of all things Adobe. If Adobe makes it, Derrick knows the 5 different hotkeys and the 5 different places in the menu options to go in and work with the tech. I come in and help out for more of the personal development side, which leads to the business development side. And we got another question coming in from Chris. Is this the book from 1910? That sounds about right. Yeah, it's like 100 something years
old
ago.
School, super old school.
Way out of copyright, so you can get it for cheap, if not free.
Or I use Audible so I can listen to it while I'm doing the dishes.
Yeah, I love that. Give me 1 second so I can pull up this slide. Oh, I guess it's just gonna.
So here's
okay.
Where's my camera? There is, but the book. I don't know. Boink.
Oh, okay. I don't have that one.
That's the one that I'm listening to.
That's fancy, though.
I don't know if it's the same thing you're listening to, but
it's going to be pretty much the
close, same but different. Also, in the links in the chat, if you want to see my book list on everything I have on my shelf behind me and upstairs, I got books all over the place. You can go to my kit page and it shows the books on my shelf. Link in the description, link in the assets on Behance. It's all over the place. So if you guys want to check that out, that's available as a resource as well.
Yeah. And a comment coming in from Matthew Hulse. I'm a disabled veteran. Hey, right on, brother. Me too. Different disabilities, because it says you're trying to find a way that you can hold down the space bar on your Mac using switch panels. You know what? I'm going to let Derrick get queued up to answer that, because I think he's going to understand more. Okay. Did you want me to go through the 5 line again real fast?
Yeah. Well, yes, I do. Let's come back to the 5 line. I want to answer Matthew real quick. So, so Matthew says, I'm a disabled veteran. I'm trying to find a way that I can hold the space bar down on my Mac using switch panels. I'm not sure what switch panels are. Is it like a special interface, like a mouse, but a different kind of a controller for you?
Or some type of accessibility device?
Yeah. I was going to say, this is no help. I was going to say, well, you could also use a Stream Deck, but that's literally the same thing as a keyboard, like the same size keys. That's not going to be any help.
You know what, though? The Stream Deck, with a little bit of help, can get programmed.
I'm going to try and hold this up to the camera just to show you what I'm talking about for those who don't know. So this is my Stream Deck, and it basically has all the different scenes for our live broadcast. So if I go like this,
do the swoop.
It switches so you can see everything. And then let's see, 2 up, boink, goes back to Paul. So basically all of these buttons can be programmed to be different things. Like even in Photoshop or Illustrator, they actually have, I don't know if you call it a plug-in, but they basically like pre-programmed keys that do different things, and they've got them for Zoom and Word and Photoshop, and you can make stuff up. I don't know if that's helpful. I don't know how your disability plays out, but they're about the same size as the keys on a keyboard. So, maybe that's no help, but I hope it is. That's what I know.
Right on. He's asking, can I send you a screenshot? And I'm not sure.
Let's see. How can we do that?
If the chat roll can do that.
I don't think we can in that chat roll. I don't think we can in Facebook. No, you could in Facebook. I just found out we're not streaming on Facebook tonight. I'm not sure the link. They think they did a different live groups or rooms or something. It broke my feed, but you can, Matthew, go ahead and email me. My direct email is Derrick, DERRICK at DerrickMitchell.com. The website is DerrickMitchell.com, DERRICK, MITCHELL. I could have just done this. It'd be confusing though. Like this. There it is. That's how you spell my name. So just Derrick at DerrickMitchell.com. Send me a link and I'll look at it and see if I have any suggestions. What up?
Yeah, thank you so much,
Cool.
Matthew, and thank you for your service.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's jump back into the 5 line.
Yeah.
For those people that are joining us here, and we'll go over that one more time.
Yeah, Austin, loving the 5 line.
Cool as you guys.
Yeah, good stuff. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to put it up on you here, Paul.
Okay, and then I'll bring up my slides. Maybe there we go. So here's the 5 line, and this Matthew, if you're a veteran, I borrowed this from some of the radio procedures that we used in the Marine Corps. I was a Marine for 15 years, and now I help people in their personal development. So that way they can improve their process development to increase their product development and then have their profits go through the roof. Because when you do it that way, you can set the conditions for success. You can predict your success. Maybe not the exact timeline, but when you go through these steps, you will be successful. So here's the 5 line. Number 1, you say yes to one thing. One, that's it. Singular focus. If you think that you're going to be fancy because you're going to put in a bunch of commas, semicolons, ands, ors, here's my one thing, Paul. I'm going to get up and get dressed and go exercise and take a shower and get my day going. You're right. That's one sentence, but that's not one thing. So one thing has one verb.
So I want to hijack this real quick and point out that doesn't mean so do the one thing, do this whole process, and then when you finish it, then you do the next thing. So you can do as many things as you want, just one at a time, right?
One at a time. Multitasking is a marketing ploy,
right,
by cell phone companies. That it doesn't even, multitasking doesn't exist inside the phone or the computer.
If you don't believe this, if you don't believe this, it's called switch tasking, not multitasking. If you don't believe it, you want to try it out for yourself. Here's what I suggest you do. Get a piece of paper, write down 1 through 26. Then below it, write down A through Z. All right. So 1 through 26. Here, you just want to try it?
I'm doing it right now.
All right,
Go
1
ahead.
to 26. You just write down your paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 26. Okay. Let me know when you're done.
How do you spell A?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
Keep
for
going.
Canadian, it's EH, isn't it?
Ah!
Okay. Then you do the alphabet below it. A through Z. A, B, C, D, right? All the way through Z.
Okay, I'm halfway done.
Okay.
And what's next?
All right. Are you done? Let me know when you're done.
I'm almost done. Oh my gosh, I didn't study for this. 23, 24, 25, 26. It's not going to make it on the same line. N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay.
Boom. Didn't take that long. Okay. Now I want you to multitask or switch task. I want you to write a 1 and then an A below it, and then a 2 and then a B below it, and then a 3.
1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, 5E, 6F, 7G, 8H, 9I, 10J, 11K, 12L, 13M, 14. Am I doing it wrong? Because I'm still doing pretty well.
You're still pretty fast. I think you're gonna. Okay. I mean, once you get to you're an exceptional student, so we'll give you that. But if we had timed it, it would be significantly faster to do 1 through 26 and then
absolutely.
A through Z versus switching mentally going from a number to right. Okay. I don't know if that made sense for you guys, but here's the deal. Don't switch task.
Yeah.
Do the thing,
Don't.
finish it,
Focus
and then
on
do the
one
next thing. Exactly.
Right. There was a TED talk with a guy that said you can learn anything 5 minutes at a time. And he would switch with intense focus. And at the end of 5 minutes, then he would go to the next thing and then go to the next thing. So this framework, this focus 5 line, is around a block of time, whether that's a year, a quarter, a month, a week, a day, a morning, an hour. You know, there are some times with what I face for managing my anxiety, for managing lack of confidence, for managing panic, for managing enthusiasm, that I'm making these choices moment by moment. And if that's where you are at, my friend, You're in good company. Me too. Come on over. I saved you a seat. All right.
So good.
You
Here,
can block this time however you want to chunk it up. So remember that when you say yes to one thing, for me, I've been sober from alcohol now. I think we're at 5 years. I don't have like a specific day. It was more like I had a surgery and I didn't want to die on the operating room table because I was still drunk. So I stopped drinking and I really enjoyed not being hungover during that after that surgery. So I just kept not drinking. But with something like COVID, like a pandemic, it pushes your stress levels to where they're not at normally. And if you're working as a graphic designer, if you're wanting to get started as a graphic designer, that can be a lot of additional stress. So for me, as I was staying committed to my sobriety, there were times that it was moment by moment. And I made it. You can do this too. Say yes to one thing, my friend. It's going to help you out. Next piece is say no to at least 2 things. You know that there are some of these things in your life that are your kryptonite. For me, it's video games, social media, alcohol, carrot cake with amazing carrot cake frosting. I say no to that regularly because I don't want to weigh like 500 pounds. Like I was overweight at one point in time because I was using food to soothe my soul and it wasn't working. So I'm very vigilant about monitoring my health now. So say no to 2 of those things, identify what those are that you're saying no to, and then take that big one thing that you're saying yes to and break it down into 3 steps. Anything in the world can get broken down into 3 major steps. Now, you might have to break each of those down into 3 steps and some of those down into 3 steps. That's okay. Break it down into 3 steps. Stay focused. So here's the thing. For what is a step? A step is one verb. Your one thing is one verb. That's how you can know that you're breaking it down into the appropriate bite size. Number 4, ask for support. Just like my fellow veteran Matthew did. He said, hey, do you got any idea on how to do this thing? And it sounded like something that was in Photoshop, so I wasn't sure. I'm trying to find a way I can hold the spacebar down on my Mac using switch panels. Right there. He asked for support. You all are here on Behance or Facebook or YouTube because you want to have this support. So ask for this specific support in a tactical planning way as you go through this 5-line. I'm going to ask Derrick for support, that I'm going to tell him what time I'm going to be done with this part of my project. And I'm going to give him that check-in. And we use Marco Polo as an app to send video messages to each other throughout our day. So I'm saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm not asking for him to necessarily do anything. I'm just saying, hey, I'm going to push this information your way. And if I miss, please check in and let me know what's going on and check in with me. So then here's the magic right here. Have you ever heard of like keeping your nose to the grindstone, or like honor the struggle? Or one of the things we said in the military was embrace the suck. And really this comes down to you being aware of the context of your actions, the context for you of why whatever it is that you're doing matters. So you say like this one major thing. So for me yesterday is I'm going to complete this personal essay for my graduate school application. Why? Because when I can receive an education of this caliber, I can serve at a greater level. Well, why do I want to serve at a greater level? Because I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to change the world. And that is something I am not able to do myself. So I want to get this education so that I can contribute to some positive change in the world. Why? I think we're at 3, so this would be 4. Why? Because I've seen the darkness of humanity. I've seen people willing to kill each other because they believe in a different God, or they believe in a different way that society should run, or they believe in different education policies. And so they were willing to kill each other in the name of freedom and democracy. And I disagree with that. And I disagree with it at such a level, I'm taking a stand. I want to have positive change in this world. So let's see, that was 4. And then 5. Why? After seeing that darkness, because I got lost in that. I got lost in that darkness. I became an alcoholic. I soothed myself with food. I lived on pizza. And I quickly gained about 80 pounds, 70, 80 pounds. Until I was drunk 24 hours a day. And I was just living on stuff that made me feel better, but it wasn't helping me out in the long term. So now when I start getting ready to work on that personal essay for my graduate school application, and I've connected it to, I don't want anybody else to feel lost. I don't want them to go through depression. I don't want you, my friend, watching this as we're in the middle of a pandemic to feel like you're alone. I want you to know that there is this goofy guy on a Monday night loving on you with his best friend up in the frozen tundra of Montana, that we're here to help you wherever you're at in the world, wherever you're at in your journey, wherever you're at in your business. We're here to care for you and love you. So when I tie it to that level, then my work on my application is not a grind. It is not suck. It is not putting my nose to the grindstone. It is not a chore, because I've connected that to something greater than myself. There was a fervor. There was a precision. There was a focus that I was not getting distracted. And Derrick, go ahead and bring us up to a 2 up here. Because with this man's help right here and the help of my lovely lady, we carried that across the finish line. And my mentor, Jim. I worked together with a team, and we carried that across the finish line. And last night I submitted my full grad school application because I got everything done.
So good.
So we're here for you.
So good. Yeah, we've got a few more comments and also getting close to bedtime here for the kiddos. We are on spring break, so it's actually way past bedtime, but they're still up, still knocking around the house here. So I'm going to probably tap out here pretty soon, go put them to bed, give them some loves. But before we do that, last call, you guys, if you have any questions in the feed or any other thoughts, I love, I've heard this now multiple times, and every time I hear it, I think of something different, and it makes more sense. And it really has been valuable to my productivity and to what's important, to that one thing, and that one thing that, it's not the only thing, but it helps that one thing be the one thing in the moment that gets you to the next one thing. Right.
Right. However long that moment is for you. So
good. I'm looking at the chat.
I think we've got one question here from Chris.
Yeah.
First is a statement over on Behance. Chris Moreno, thank you so much for playing. And Chris, where are you from? I want to say that I've seen this before, and I just am not remembering. He said it's a real skill to task switch by doing one thing for even an hour and then switching to something completely different. Yes, it is a skill to do that. And these 2 8-letter words will let you accomplish anything that you want to set out and do. Practice and repetition. If you watch any of Derrick's videos on YouTube around how he does the thing that he just stretched the background to make it go from portrait to landscape without distorting the person in, stretching the person like Gumby or like putty. It's absolutely amazing. And if you can learn something on Adobe, you can learn this singular focus, this focus on one thing. And Chris asks, well, do we stop opening more than one browser at one time? Yes. Or grab the one tab off so it's its own window and minimize everything else. When I get ready to go, what Derrick and I call heads down, I close the email, I close the chat, I silence notifications, I chuck this thing to the other side of the apartment so that way it doesn't have any chance to distract me.
I'm
Chris in Seattle.
So I used to live in Kirkland, actually.
There it is.
And so I remember this conversation now. So, and then also I used to live in Spokane, and I see that Matthew's in Coeur d'Alene, which is 20 minutes away from Spokane.
Right.
Super cool.
Areas.
Yeah. Those are my old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Now I'm in Montana, freezing.
Chris, okay, and then I think this will be the final question for tonight. How would you go about getting a mentor?
That's a good question.
Do you want to weigh in on this one?
Okay, so there's a lot of answers that we could go that route. So how do you get a mentor? Okay, well, let's define mentor first, because there are some people that I would consider a mentor in my life, but they don't know that I exist. So somebody like Jim Rohn, who is no longer alive, but one of the greats when it comes to personal development and success, and read most of his books, have a lot of his content that he's produced, and I would consider him a mentor in the way that I approach things. Okay. Then there is the tangible, that person that you kind of do life with. All right. So you could look at this a few different ways as well. One of the ways that I learned, or I approached this when I was in college, they actually call this an internship, right? So basically you have this internship or this job shadow where you have the opportunity to learn from somebody who's further along in the career than you are. And so when you're a student, this is a great opportunity to let somebody open their doors and basically show you exactly how they work and do their things, because you're not technically competition to them right now. And so that's another way. As far as mentorship, it'd be more like the internship. Okay. Then another way that you could do mentorship would be through the Facebook group that we mentioned before. There's a link in the chat. It's on facebook.com/groups/complete graphic design. There's actually a mentorship program in there where you can sign up to either be a mentor or a mentee. Is that how you say it? I think so. And everybody's got something. Even if you feel like you're not very far in your career at all, you might be further along than somebody else. So you might even become a mentor for somebody else. Okay. Then I don't know about the last way, but another way maybe isn't necessarily the mentorship as much as it is Paul and I have more of like an accountability relationship where it's not like I'm mentoring him and he's not really mentoring me. It's more so somebody who's 1 degree removed from what you're doing and has perspective. As Paul likes to say, you can't read the label from inside the bottle. So you can't necessarily see around the corner of what's coming at you. You might need to ask whether it's a friend or a family member or that person that you've agreed to kind of open up your life a little bit towards. So those are some different ways, some different angles that you can approach the mentorship thing. I hope that helps give you some ideas, but that's my approach to it. Paul, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that.
Yeah. Mentor and protege.
There you go.
A lot of people will say like mentee, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, protege. Okay. As I said it, this doesn't feel right, but I can't.
Yeah. Well, you in like 90% of the development industry is like, if you're a mentor, then seek out a mentee. If you're a mentee, then seek out a No. It's called a protege. For me, my mentor Jim Wong, I look at, he is several steps ahead, like one generation ahead in the direction that I want to go. Is he going to know the latest ins and outs of technology? Well, with him, probably. But he can provide that general strategic growth for what direction that I want to go. So you could look at somebody in that industry for whatever you're looking to grow into. And if you're looking at doing graphic design, one of the first places that I want to recommend that you start is in Derrick's vault. The internets are just so tired right now.
It's Monday.
So you can start in the vault, get into the Facebook groups, and then start taking a look at who is doing what and who might be able to help you out. Derrick is engaged in the Facebook group, even though there's some limitations on that it's not on his phone or anything. We go into the Facebook group to look for the questions to build this content for you. So identify somebody who's in the industry, who's like a generation removed, that can provide a lot of different strategic insight. And
Well, let's think about life. Austin's done here. Austin was an intern for me a while back, and now we work together. Super cool experience and fun to see him grow, doing some cool things. The coolest.
Yeah. And I think we're going to land it because my internet.
I think we're going to land it. Yeah. I think it's about time. My kids are ready for bed.
Yeah.
Your computer is probably about to start a fire.
It's giving up.
Hey guys, thank you so much for jumping in tonight. Definitely a different time for us. We're going to be bouncing around a little bit, and my wife is pregnant, expecting a baby in the next 2 to 5 weeks. So
any day.
We're going to try not to miss a Monday, but there's some things beyond my control. So we'll see what happens there, and really excited about it. But to stay in the loop so you don't miss out, make sure that if you haven't already, like this video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Maybe, depending on if you're on YouTube, you can tap the bell to get notifications or subscribe so that way you get notified when we do go live. On Behance, I think if you follow my profile when I go live, you'll get a little notice that we're live. Check that out. And you can also go to my website at derrickmitchell.com. Currently, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, because that's just how I did it, I don't like having email pop-ups, but whatever. The point is derrickmitchell.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom. You can join my newsletter. I'll give you some freebies, some great designer resources. And then also you'll get emails when we go live so you don't miss anything. And then you can jump in live and get your questions answered. So
it's so good. And if you're watching this on the replay, if you're on Behance, there's not a way the chat is saved.
The chat doesn't stick around yet.
Right.
They're working on it. They're growing fast. I
Yep.
think that is part of the new update that will be coming out in the next couple of months. I've been talking with Adobe about it. So hopefully that happens soon. Yeah, guys, we love this community. Love what's happening. You guys jumping in. Chris, good to see you again. Everybody else jumping in. Austin, thanks for being here tonight. Super cool. And we can't wait for the next one. So, Paul, unless you got anything else, I'm going to land it.
Next Monday, and get on Derrick's email list so that way you know what time.
What happened?
Am I still there? Am I dead? Can you hear me? Oh, it's done. All right. We're going to pull it. We're out. Have a good night.